Hello people, this is Ryder here to review the Avataro Sentai Donbrothers Kamen Rider 2022 Gear Set. So this was the Sentai equivalent of the movie ticket item, the summer movie ticket item that was coincide with the Donbrothers movie, to which was just more Kamen Rider merch. Obviously, as you can tell, mine already came like this for some reason. But anyways, as you can see from here, initially, obviously this was always a set of 3. It was just that we only knew about Revi and Vice. However, for some reason, even to this day, they have not ever revealed the 3rd gear, to which, as you can see right here, is Geats himself. I don't know why they never made the effort of, actually acknowledging the 3rd gear, but oh well. As you can see from here, it's just in a simple poly bag, I guess, to which you can just see it just... Yeah, so I guess they're called Avataro gear, Kamen Rider, whoever. But, yeah. So as you can see, it has the Geats logo there, has the Revice logo and the Donbrothers logo. Yeah, there's not really much to this, so here we have the gears out of their packaging. So here we'll just take a look at them we'll take a look at them one by one. So here's Revi, to which, as you can see in the standard Avatar gear affair, here's obviously Revive Rex Genome with the Revice Ryder symbol at the back, and obviously because it is a technically legend Senpai gear, it's obviously the traditional blue, so it's not specified. The back is B112, and because of that too, it is a Donbrothers gear because it is double notched. So yeah. Then here we have Vice Rex Genome, which, again, pretty decent. Which is, as you can tell too, is also B112, so meaning these two will play the same exact sound. To which makes sense to an extent. So, here the two of them are. Here's Revice. And then last but not least, we have our 3rd Kamen Rider Avatar gear, Kamen Rider Geats, or Geats Magnum Boost form, with the Geats Rider symbol in the back. Definitely my favorite of the 3, just because I like Magnum Boost. It's probably my favorite. It's my favorite my favorite base form we've had since Rabbit Tank B095. So this one is a Donbrothers gear because it is double notch, so it will actually play a new sound, even if you don't think it does. It is actually new. So let's use these. So obviously slot this in the Dawn Blaster like so, or that. So obviously the traditional standby. So that's pretty nice. It acknowledges Revice by saying buddy up. However, you can tell it's pretty interesting that it doesn't say the full title of Kamen Rider Revi and Vice. It just says Revi and Vice. And if we were to use Vice, it's the same exact sound, which is disappointing, but I can't blame them. Vice will just show this off. So Vice will show off the Zangwa sword. So as you can see from there, it actually does the color scheme of Revi by paralleling between pink and blue, which is pretty cool. Would have been neat if they could have incorporated Vice's colors in some way, but no. And then Geats. Geats gives us the generic Kamen Rider sound, with Iza Henshin and such. To which, as you can see, you can tell it's generic because it just says in the Zanglass sword, it's just red and green to symbolize Ichigo and such. Obviously, this toy was in production before Geats was trademarked. So you can't blame them for not having him. And then with Omikoshi Phoenix, that was too high, so let's become Ultimate Revi. Or Goldon Revi. So as you can tell, it's just the generic power-up sound just because, you know, cell batteries. That's not a good excuse. So, you know, you might be like, oh, this is not going to be exciting because it's just like the Dawn Blaster is going to be the only thing to acknowledge this actually being the Kamen Rider, because then this thing's not going to acknowledge this, or this thing's not going to acknowledge the Riders. I forgot to play this. So yeah, interestingly enough, this in a way, Omikoshi Phoenix is the only toy to actually acknowledge Geats in a way. It doesn't say Geats, but it recognizes that it's a new hero. Like, yes, it's a reused sound, but in the context of using it with Geats, that's actually really cool. Especially because this got released a month into Geats. So I feel like this is really valid and such. But other than that, the finisher is all the same and such, so. We'll only use Vice. it at least reads them as Kamen Rider, to which all the Kamen Riders are like this, which makes sense. It at least says Kamen Rider. And obviously it just it won't do revice sounds. So we're not going to use this because it's just going to say, clap your hands, everyone. Everybody, clap your hands, come on. I said that weirdly. Yeah, overall, this is a pretty nice set of Avataro gears. And honestly, it's pretty nice that Sentai finally got to do another movie ticket item, summer movie ticket item, even if it meant that it was still basically a Kamen Rider item, because I think the last one they were able to do was Mashin Shovelo Flare version, the red Mashin Shovelo. But other than that, like, because of Superhero Senki, they couldn't do one because I guess they couldn't, which is weird. So I'm really glad Donbrothers was able to have one. Again, even if it meant that it had to be more Kamen Rider gears. But I mean, it's cool that they continued this in a way. It sucks that these weren't released as like a Televikun issue, so then it would have been easier to obtain. But I mean, I'm at least happy these are present, and especially the fact they did Geats, because I like that it makes it so that Zenkaiger had its trio of Kamen Rider gears, and then Donbrothers has its trio of Kamen Rider gears. And again, as I said before, it's cool that Omikoshi Phoenix in a way actually does acknowledge Geats, even doesn't say Geats directly. And obviously, the way it handles the Rider stuff is like pretty standard. Anyone complaining about like, oh, well, I want revice sounds, it's like, what were you expecting? So, like, for Avataro gear collectors, I do recommend getting this. Just be wary, this is going to be one of the more harder sets to obtain. Which, I mean, what I mean by harder, you're just going to have to look at, like, proxy services, like Macari, or not Macari, but like, you're going to have to look into sites like that, because I don't think you will be able to find this in, like, Mandarake. You're going to have to use you're going to have to go through Bai and find this on, like, Macari or Yahoo Japan auctions and get it from there. To which, this isn't badly priced. This is about, like, $21, which is pretty good. And honestly, probably the best value for the movie ticket items for 2022. Just because I honestly feel like this... I mean, I'm glad it's easily affordable, just because you get things like the Crocodile Vice stamp, which is unreasonably expensive. And it's kind of unfortunate that as of now, it seems like this is the only movie ticket item, or the last Sentai movie ticket item, because they're not gonna bother trying to push in those crystals, or like the Shoe God souls for King Ultra for a movie ticket item, because I feel like they could have done that for this year. But as of right now, we only know about the core ID for Geats Oneness, so it's just like, that's great. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this overall. It would have been cool if they actually did release at least 01 and Saber, even though Saber is not necessary because he gets to keep the same notch pattern, but 01 actually obtained one. And I obviously we are missing Kamen Rider Revice's notch pattern. I don't know how they would have handled it, to be honest, just because would it actually have been of Kamen Rider Revice, like the Thunder Gale form, or would it have just been Revi and Vice together in one gear? Because if I had to choose, I would just prefer the Thunder Gale, because that is what Revice is, and such. Despite how many people want to dismiss that, that's Revice. So it would have been cool, but I'm happy that they just decided to do the Revi Vice notch, because I think that one's more interesting. And plus, I get it, it's just a name difference. Functionality wise, it's still the same LED set and such. It still says Iza Buddy Up. So we're not really missing much. Now I had to do this review. Now I had to do with this review. This is Ryder, and I'll leave people